Sweepy Joe might be in a little bit of trouble. A new image from Hunter Biden's laptop shows Joe hanging out with Hunter's business pals, but just one problem. Joe emphatically denied ever discussing anything related to Hunter's business dealings. Oops. In this video, we're going to take a look at the bombshell photo showing Biden with one of Hunter's international business partners, how the latest photo is increasingly destroying Sleepy Joe's denials, and how the mainstream media's cover-up also looks like it too is about to implode. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, we are your daily fake news antidote. As each and every day, we provide patriotic analysis to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. What do you think of this market of late? Does all the volatility make you nervous with the inflation on the horizon? What have we historically invested in when inflation starts to devalue our dollars? Could it be gold? Well, you bet it is. If you're sick of the low returns and volatility from the market, it is time to look at gold and silver. And that is where our good friends over at Noble Gold come in. There's simply never been a better time to start a gold or silver IRA in your portfolio, and the amazing staff over at Noble Gold are ready to help you in any way that they can. If that's not incentive enough, Noble Gold is gifting a 1/10 ounce solid gold American Eagle proof coin like this one with every qualifying IRA or 401k rollover going through in July. So don't wait. Click on that link below or visit their website at noblegoldinvestments.com or give them a call at 877-646-5347. Make sure to mention my name, Dr. Steve, and let's ride that gold wave together. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. I remember it was about 6 months ago. Geraldo Rivera of Fox News came out and said that Hunter Biden was an absolute parasite who's going to be tainting his father's presidency. As it turns out, Rivera could not have been more prophetic. Hunter Biden is just the gift that keeps on giving. The latest involves images obtained from Hunter Biden's laptop that are casting new doubts on Biden's adamant claims during the 2020 presidential campaign that he never, never, not once, nope, never discussed international business dealings with his son, Hunter. Now, one of the pictures that has emerged of late appears to show then Vice President Biden next to Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim with Hunter on the side. There's also a number of Hunter's business associates in the picture. According to the New York Post, which first broke the story, the timestamp indicates that the pictures were taken on November 19, 2015. An email sent the following day by Eric Schwerin of Hunter's Biden's firm Rosemont Seneca shows a political playbook headline corroborating Slim being in the D.C. area with an article headline, "Spotted Carlos Slim in the lobby yesterday morning of the Georgetown Four Seasons." Fox News was one of the only other mainstream media outlets to pick up this story. They reported that the picture includes a number of other international CEOs, as well as Hunter's associate Jeff Cooper, a longtime former managing partner of the law firm Simmons Cooper, which is a huge big-time Biden donor. Now, while it's unclear what either Hunter or Joe were trying to do here with this meeting, what is clear is that Joe's emphatic denials that he never had anything to do with any of Hunter's business dealings appears to be imploding. Now, you may recall several months back, so this is back in October 2020, just after Hunter's laptop was discovered, the New York Post released a number of emails that showed that Hunter Biden introduced his father, who was, of course, then vice president, to a top executive at Burisma, the corrupt Ukrainian energy firm where Hunter served on the board. And that meeting took place less than a year before Joe Biden threatened to withhold $1 billion in aid from Ukraine until their government fired a special prosecutor that was investigating Burisma. And even though the mainstream media did everything they possibly could to censor that story and black it out, the revelations kept coming in. Biden's involvement with Hunter kept getting deeper and deeper, which eventually involved a whistleblower coming forward. Do you remember Tony Bobulinski? Right? You may not, because, again, the media issued a full blackout on this guy. Fortunately, we had Tucker Carlson, who conducted an exclusive interview with this fellow, Tony Bobulinski, who is a former business associate with Hunter. And in the interview, he detailed how a meeting allegedly took place in May of 2017 between himself and the former Vice President Joe Biden at the Beverly Hilton in Los Angeles. Bobulinski claimed that he had met several times with Hunter Biden, as well as Rob Walker, a very close associate with the Bidens, who in effect, according to Bobulinski, acted as a proxy for Hunter, for Joe, and for Jim Biden, who's also the brother of Joe Biden. So this guy, Rob Walker, was a trusted confidant of the Bidens, who I'm gathering more or less scoped out the legitimacy of business dealings that they could get involved in. And one of them was with this now defunct Chinese energy company, CEFC, which had direct ties with the Chinese Communist government. After meeting several times with Hunter and this guy, Rob Walker, they set up a meeting with the, quote, big guy himself, Joe Biden, in an effort to establish the relationship needed to bring together Bobulinski's company, Sinohawk, into a partnership with this Chinese energy company, CEFC. So on May 2nd, at the Beverly Hilton around 10:30 p.m., Bobulinski met with Hunter, Jim, and yes, Joe Biden to discuss specifically their business dealings that involved Hunter Biden and CEFC and direct ties to the Chinese Communist government. Furthermore, Bobulinski argued that the multi-million-dollar loan that they were getting from the Chinese energy company was not in fact a loan. It was rather a kickback for the Bidens. And when he asked Hunter how on earth he thought he was going to get away with all of this, Hunter responded with two words. Do you remember this? Plausible deniability, which means that if you're part of a large organization with multiple hierarchical levels, the ones at the top can always claim they didn't know what the other levels were doing. According to Bobulinski, both Hunter and his father, Sleepy Joe, clearly knew what they were doing, and they did it with a sense of immunity granted to them by plausible deniability. Now, obviously, critics of the New York Post and Fox News are calling out the mainstream media on this. We don't have just a smoking gun here. Gang, this is more akin to, the radioactive fallout from nuclear weapons explosion. And yet, the mainstream media continues to conspire to cover the story up. And I'm going to show you precisely how they're doing it. But first, in celebration of Independence Day coming up, our awesome merch store has some super savings for you. For just this week, buy 2 of our amazing Patriot t-shirts and you'll get a third one absolutely free. So this is a perfect opportunity to get yourself and your loved ones and friends some of the coolest, most patriotic shirts available simply by clicking on the link below. But this is a limited time offer. The sale ends on midnight after July the 4th, so do not wait. Click on that link below and take advantage of our buy 2, get 1 free offer today. Now, lest we've forgotten some of the crazy headlines that appeared during the presidential campaign last fall, look at this from, say, the Washington Post back in October of last year. The truth behind the Hunter Biden non-scandal. Here's one from Rolling Stone. A few things to keep in mind as Trump attacks Hunter Biden. Trump and his allies are accusing Joe and Hunter Biden of corruption. It's a mix of innuendo, fabrication, and projection. Here's Politico gleefully declaring back in October, MAGA scrambles to repair the Hunter Biden narrative. We could go on and on. Never once had the Bidens confirmed or denied the laptop's existence, which, given the content coming from it, is obviously authentic. But the left-wing activists disguised as journalists in the mainstream media are so absolutely adamant about covering up this story that they produce absurd headlines like this one from the Washington Post. Insisting that the Hunter Biden laptop is fake is a trap. So is insisting that it's real. Okay, so if we in the media say that the laptop is fake, well, that's a Trump trap. But if we say it's real, well, Trump's going to trap us as well. So here's what we'll say. Keep in mind, this is coming from a Johns Hopkins professor of strategic studies who wrote this piece. This is what he concluded. The absence of a denial by the Biden campaign or Hunter himself should not be treated as a tacit admission of authenticity. That's the best they've got. Just because they haven't denied the laptop doesn't mean that it's real. Miranda Devine, who's the columnist who reported on the new bombshell photo on Joe and Hunter and the Mexican billionaire for the New York Post. I mean, she wrote this week that there will eventually have to be a point where the Biden White House is going to have to confront evidence of the president's involvement in his son Hunter's shady overseas business dealings. He's going to have to deal with his lying. There's just no way around this. There are enough alt media outlets reporting on this to eventually force the mainstream media's hand. And then it may just turn out that Geraldo Rivera was a true prophet after all. Now, before you go, you'll definitely want to check out my latest video. I just uploaded it on President Trump taunting and mocking CNN's ratings implosion. You're going to absolutely love it. It's going to make your day. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless. Geraldo Rivera.